Are you getting robbed? Not by your neighbor or by the thugs down the street or anything. I'm talking about, are you being robbed of your time by your job? Possibly, especially if you don't like your job. I just had this post on Instagram, went viral. And one of the comments, this woman says, life isn't about enjoying yourself. It's about finding happiness around the dread of their job. So pretty much she's saying she's miserable. And the best part of her life is leaving work and escaping the drudgery, and finding a little bit of pleasantness around that. And that is a very sad state. And sadly, a lot of people are like that. They're in that frame of mind where it's a necessary evil that we have to have are these JOBs. And, life is more about finding the happiness around all of that. So I'm not in disagreement. We have to work. We have to make money. That's the nature of it. But why does it have to be a lot? Why do you have to give up 5.5 days a week of our lives? Why do so many of us going through that? 70% of Americans are actively looking for a new job. Do you realize that? 70% of Americans are actively looking for a different position with another company or a different type of job or something. They're actively looking. This comes from a recruiter. Like headhunters are looking for people. This is why the industry is so big. This is why it's so lucrative to have a recruiting agency, is because there's so many people looking. They want to change jobs. It's not always about the money. I think a large number of those 70% were looking for better paying jobs, right? But some people, there's another company that I was working with for a while, and I sat with the CEO, and he says he finds that when he talks to these people, they would trade a better work environment for a slightly lower salary because they know they got to work, but they're miserable. They're miserable at work. I'm talking about this because I was in that group. I worked for various jobs for many years. And some I liked, some I did not like. Some I did that paid well, and some didn't pay well. And some I liked and got paid well, and some I hated and I get paid poorly. So, but the crazy thing is that if I had thought better of it sooner, I would have gone out on my own and started some type of enterprise, some type of venture, a going concern that made me money, something profit-based venture, right? Where I made money based on profit, not on hours worked, because that's the robbery. If I gave you $30 just to go stand in a corner for an hour, would you do it? Probably not. You'd find something better to do with that hour, right? But then you'll go sit at a cubicle 7, 8, 10 hours a day for $30 an hour and call that a job, call it a career. Now, look, I understand some people are okay with that, but I know 70% of Americans are not happy with their jobs. So it's probably a minority of people that are okay with their current life situation. And they're looking for employment rather than looking to change the way they make money. You have to shift your viewpoint from somebody else writing you a paycheck based on the hours that you work and somebody writing you a check for the work that you've done, for actual production. What did you produce? What did you create? What did you get done? Right? When you pay those guys to come out and pour concrete to fix your driveway or to fix your stairs or whatever, like you're paying them a flat fee, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, whatever, right? And the owner of the company gets a profit. He gets a profit from that. Or if he's doing it himself, maybe him and his cousin go out and pour concrete, and that's how they make a living. They're getting profits. They might work 6 or 8 hours, but they're going to, if you break it down, they might make $150 an hour. They might work 4 hours and make $2,000. I don't know. Depends on what kind of business structure they have. But if you get away from the idea that you have to base your value on how much time you work versus how much you can complete or get done, how much can you produce in that amount of time, it is very liberating. The kid who cuts grass in the summer has figured that out because he says, okay, there's 100 houses in my neighborhood. If I could cut 20 of them every 2 weeks, that's 40 houses a month. And if I can cut 2 lawns an hour, I'm going to make $70 an hour, right? But he's going by profits. Now, if he went to work for a landscape company, he may only make $15 an hour, but he's working on profits. Every house pays me $30 or $35. It's profits. Now, if he does it in 10 minutes or does it in an hour, it's still $35. So you have to have a shift in viewpoint, a change of your perspective, right? How are you looking at things? Are you looking at it from the viewpoint of somebody else has to give me the opportunity, or can you create it? Well, I can tell you right now that here's an exercise for you to do. Go on any of the social media sites and just start scrolling. Go to Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, right? Facebook, YouTube. You're going to see average people like me and you selling stuff, selling something. They have an online business, right? They got a stand store, a Pinterest store, right? They're selling something on Amazon, on eBay. Now, they still might have a long day. They might still work 6-7 hours, but they're doing it under their own volition, right? They have control of what they're doing. Maybe they do 2 hours in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, a couple at night. Maybe they do it all. Maybe they're done at noon with their day. For years, I worked till noon and I was done. That was it. I didn't have to work anymore than that. That was plenty. I think I worked 8 to noon, or 7 to 11, or 7 to 10. And I was done. The kids are rolling out of bed around 9 or 10. I get them fed and I wrap up my day, and you get on with it. It's about profits. You work for profits, not hourly wages. That straps you to a chair. Why does the number of hours? Look, I worked at jobs where I did twice as much work in a day, 3 times as much work in a day, depending on what I was doing and where I was working, than any of my other employees, and I didn't get paid anymore. So it doesn't drive you to be overly successful in a job. Why would you do that? There's no guarantee you'll get promoted. That doesn't guarantee anything. It guarantees you'll still have a job. It guarantees you'll probably have to pick up the slack of the lazy people. That's what that guarantees. It doesn't guarantee anything. I've done that. Been promised promotions, middle management, nothing. It just never happened, never manifested. Even when I was probably one of the best in the company at what I was doing. It doesn't guarantee anything. But when you take control, take the helm, and you captain your own ship financially, you will find that you have all of the things you desired from your job and more. Because when we go to a job, if we're just looking to get a paycheck to pay rent and the light bill to go home, that's probably all you'll get. But when I was working, I want to get promoted quick. I wanted in on the big stuff. What do we do? How do we blow up this project? How do we really make this thing happen? How do we do this? A lot of times my managers didn't like that. They just didn't want to hear all that. They wanted me to just go over and grind away at my cubicle and just get out of their face. I was like a bug, right? And God forbid if you show up the manager that's already there, they're gonna run you right out the door. And that's happened to me before too. I'm saying this because I was not happy as an employee. I always wanted to be in control to some degree, right? Have some control over the area, and I wanted to make profits. The first taste of that is getting a commission-based job, or a base plus commission, right? So you get some pay on what you're selling, right? Or what you're producing. So then that can happen in many ways, right? So if I wrote a loan, I get paid a commission. If I sold something, I get paid a commission, right? A percentage of what I'm producing, which was fine because then I had control over my income. I had a small base, but the majority of my money came from commissions. It's a bit of a profit, but it's not my product I'm selling, right? So I'm still not all the way in control, but real profits come when you take something that you have purchased on your own or have control over or have the rights to sell, and you sell it and you make all of the profit. You make all the profit. You say, okay, I want to make $400 today, and I want to do that every day this week. You figure out how many you got to sell, 8, 10, 3 of whatever it is, right? Maybe just one, maybe just make one. You sell one item somehow, whatever that might be. And it doesn't have to be something expensive. You might have a way of selling many of one small thing. I go on TikTok and I see these guys who are selling these little $4 and $5 items. I'm like, how are they making money? I'm like, well, they probably sell a couple thousand a week. These little magic pens or gadgets or doodads they find on Temu or on Amazon. And then they make an affiliate. They make an affiliate link and they get paid a profit, commission, right? That's still a profit, right? That's still a profit, even though it's a commission. It's different because what if they work 10 hours that week and make $2,000? If you work 10 hours at a job, how much are you going to make? $200, $250, $300? You're not going to make $2,000, that's for sure. Not in a 10-hour week. Some of you might, I know. Go ahead, be smarmy. That's totally fine. I get it. Some people do. This viral video I just posted, there were several people in there. It was two sides. One like, oh, that's not my life. I love my job. I love working 60 hours a week. Great. Well, I'm not talking to you. And there are other people like, shut up. That's just how it is. Life is terrible. Life sucks and then you die kind of viewpoint. But in the middle, there's some people who are like, it's tough, but we have to do it. But around the need to work, you have to find some happiness, which is true. But the truth is, you could find happiness all day long when you're in control of your income. You can find happiness and pleasure anytime, anywhere, because you are in control of whatever it is you're doing, right? You don't want to work today, you don't work. You just don't make money. It's no problem. You're not going to get fired. You just start it up tomorrow. Whatever you want to do. Even guys who have online businesses, they take trips and they go and they keep the plate spinning, so to speak, in their business, and then they're on to the next thing. Or they continue their vacation, I mean. But you don't have to be, strapped to your online business. None of the businesses I ran online were ever overly time consuming. Most of them I did at night. Once all the sales were completed on eBay or Amazon. Amazon was probably the most time consuming because the fulfillment side of it, we had to do repackage or package and labels and, but once we get a hold of it, man, it's so great. And nowadays there are digital products. You don't have to have physical products anymore. You don't have to sell a physical product. You don't have to sell blankets and sheets and shoes. You can sell digital products, videos and books and graphic designs and audio, and you can do voiceover work, and you can sell courses and e-learning. Oh my gosh. E-learning is almost $1 billion a day. Oh, it's over $1 billion a day is spent on e-learning. These are electronic courses, e-courses, online courses. When I do my recertification every year, because I have an insurance license, it's all online. I pay a few bucks and I do the course at home whenever I feel like it. Right? I don't know what it's like in the medical professions or legal, where these guys have to do continuing education, but that's big. There's big money in there. And anything, if you know anything about anything that someone else doesn't know, that could become an e-course. And you can make thousands of dollars a month with an e-course. What do you know about flower arrangement? Do a course on it. Do a 4-hour course and charge $49 or $27, or break the 4-hour course up into 20 videos, right? What's 4 hours? 240, 20, so 20, you do 20, 25-minute videos roughly, and sell that for $99 and $97, which is the new pricing model. But if you stop thinking with the idea that somebody else has to pay you by the hour, you are cheating yourself and you're being robbed of your time. You're cheating yourself of income. You're cheating yourself of opportunities. If you ever wondered who's spending 2 weeks at the lake, the guy owns a business. Him and his wife have a business together, right? Maybe he's a doctor, maybe he's an attorney, but that would be the minority. Like, you can find more self-employed people have the free time. They have the downtime. I was recruiting for a company. I worked for the sales company years and years ago. And I was still just a contractor. I was 1099. I was 100% commission, and I was recruiting people. And we'd bring people on. We're like, okay, here's what it's like. Here's how you have to work. Here's the kind of hours you have to put in to get things going. These are the best times to put in. And these people didn't think with building their own agency, their own business as entrepreneurs. They would come in around 8, and they would literally walk right out the door at 5 o'clock, like they were still on the clock. I said, that's not really the entrepreneurial spirit. Like, if you want to build this up to where you don't have to work very much, you've got to put some time in up front. My point is that they didn't really think with the idea of production in getting things done. They thought more about the hours that they were there. They're clock watchers. They're like, okay, it's 3 o'clock. Good. Cut more hours. Okay. Lunch is at 1. Good. It's 9. Okay. 4 hours. Good. 4 hours. And that's what they did. They watched the clock. At 5 o'clock, they were out the door. They weren't going to get their kids. Who's in school till 5 in public schools? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. Now, they could have worked a couple hours in the morning, a couple in the evening. They would have done better than just sitting at the desk from 8 to 5. But that's what they were conditioned to do. They were just conditioned to sit there, stare at the computer, poke the keys, and hope. And they were expecting a paycheck. It was utterly mind-boggling. Even though they went through a rigorous hiring process, because you don't want to just bring anybody on. It was a waste of time. So it's a shift in mindset. First, you have to believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself that you can do it. Then don't sabotage yourself. Start part-time. Take a look at the opportunities out there. You may have to try a few. You may have to check out a few. You may try one and think it's junk. You may not like the products. You may not like the system. I found a product. I found a program, not just a course, a program, step-by-step, proven system to establish an online presence to attract interested people. And it's already got dozens of products built into it, products that you can sell. Actually, you don't have to sell it. It's primarily automated. You don't really have to do very much. It's all automated. It's all set up. You just plug it into your system. You plug yourself into the system and it goes. And you can do it a couple hours a day. And it's fun. That's the best part. You enjoy it. And you're helping other people. The products are designed to help people solve a problem in their life, which is amazing. If you can help somebody and you can make a living at it, that's beautiful. Look at doctors, attorneys, and all these other people that solve problems for other people. It's very rewarding. So just change your mind about what you think you can't do or what you think you have to do in order to make money, which is trading hours. Even if you're salaried, I've been at salary jobs and they want you there all the time. Come in early, come in Saturday. I don't think so. That's nuts. You can do, I figured out, because when I started making money on my own, you don't have to work by the hour. It's just nuts. That is, people shouldn't even bill by the hour. They should bill by the project if you have a business. And I have yet to meet anyone who bills by the hour because they know they're going to get the job done in less time. They're going to make way more money. Look, if a plumber came out and I had water spurting out of my bathroom sink, which, by the way, I can fix on my own, and he's like, I'll be there. And he knows where to find the valve. He knows how to stop it from leaking and destroying my house. And he does it in 10 minutes and he charges me $400. That's going to seem worth it to me. Now, what if he came out and said, well, I get $100 an hour, and he took 4 hours to turn off the valve just to justify the hourly rate, and 4 hours of water damage happened. So what is better? Was it better to just come here and turn off the valve? Or is it better for him to let the water run for 4 hours and then charge me for that? Because he's making it seem like it's harder than it really is. I pay him for that 10 hours worth of work. The 10 minutes worth of work. Pay him that $400. That makes more sense, doesn't it? So really you should be thinking with, how do you get profits, right? How do you make profits from your time? And not how do you make wages? Wages it's just a trap. And if you're unhappy with your career, you're unhappy with what you're doing, maybe you're laid off recently, maybe you get fired. Well, you can change that. You can make a change, and for the better. Comment in the comments if you want to find out what I'm working on. I love it. It's amazing. I'll send you a link. Go to my profile. The link is in there. You get a couple of videos, tell you all about the program and how it works. And you get mentored by a multimillionaire, right? They made $1 million in 17 months in this program, the founder, using this system. And anyone can do it. It's for beginners. It's for people who don't know what they're doing. You don't have to build websites or write emails or come up with all the strategies. It's already done for you. It's already done. You just plug yourself into it and step into the shoes and start walking. It's not hard. So that's it. If you're watching live, thanks. If you're watching this in a rerun, have a great day.